I've always pondered upon the mysteries of existence. Why are we here? Who are we? And what are we supposed to be doing here? And although I don't have the answers to all of these questions, I have encountered some books that have really pointed me in the right direction and kind of helped me find peace in some of the questions I'm seeking. So today I will be showing and sharing with you 5 of my favorite spiritual books that have helped me in this journey, empowered and motivated me, and I hope that they can do the same for you as well. The first book I want to recommend is The Divine Romance, written by Paramanhasa Yogananda. This is a very special book to me because this was first given to me 5 years ago by my friend, who's also my mentor today. And Paramahansa Yogananda is essentially an Indian monk and yogi who spent a lot of his life in the United States spreading Eastern philosophies and schools of thoughts to the West. He wrote a lot about practical tips on how to live a good life, ranging from health advice to relationship advice to how to conduct yourself with friends and society. But one most important thing that I took away from this is his belief that all true religions lead to the same truth. He refused to let his conventional title of being an Indian guru stop him from trying to understand and analyze some of the deeper works in Christianity, in Hinduism, in Taoism, and other religions. And for him, religions are merely differences in cultural interpretations of the same truth. I really like that aspect about it, and it gives me a sense of peace and harmony and understanding that while we may all be worshiping different gods and have different religions and rituals, all we really want to do is be peaceful, be harmonious, and be attuned to our soul's purpose. The second book that I want to introduce is The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer. Singer himself was a businessman prior to becoming an author, and perhaps that's why I found that he has a very sensitive understanding to the workings of the world today, and also how human ego is often exacerbated by our capitalistic workings of the economy. In this book, he talks a lot about who we are um, in a spiritual sense, but without becoming overbearingly dense or obscure for us to understand. And that's why it really appeals to mass readers like myself, because all the examples that he gave I found was super relatable, and that his writings were crisp and clean. For Michael Singer, we are not the thoughts in our head. Often he draws the comparison of our minds and our thoughts to a monkey who can't sit still. It is so easy for us to disappoint ourselves. We see a cake that we like and we get super excited, and then the cake is taken away from us and we get super sad. But he lets us know that, we are not actually these thoughts, but we are simply the observer behind these thoughts. The third book that I'd like to recommend to you is A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle. I've read a couple of Eckhart Tolle's works, and honestly, they were all so good. Just like Michael Singer, I found that this was also super relatable to people of this generation and anyone who wants to understand a little bit more about our mind, how to live a conscious and an awake life. The whole premise of most of Eckhart Tolle's writing is around the central theme of being very, very present. Now, when we talk about being present, we don't just mean I give you my full attention. Of course, attention is a big part of it, but another big part of it is really having your entire being invested in the work that you are currently doing, and that your mind is clean, it is active, and it is woke. So let's say take the example of watching television. And most people are simply just sitting in front of the TV screen watching. Yes, they are present, they know what's going on, but there is no deep or productive thoughts coming in and out of their thought stream, and that their mind is slowly being dulled in the process of content overload. So that is the exact opposite of what Tolle wants us to do. Tolle wants us to keep a clean and sharp mind in everything that we're doing, be it washing your dishes or walking to the bus stop or coding. It doesn't matter what you do or how important it is, so quote unquote in society's term, you have to do it with your full concentration, with your full being. Your mind should be focused on the present moment and not the future or the past, because only then will you be able to reach and unlock the state of flow, which is, according to him, kind of the divine, the closest thing that you can get to divinity. Fourth on the list is Living at the Source by Swami Vivekananda. Swami Vivekananda, just like Paramanhasa Yogananda, was also a big proponent of Advaita Vedanta, and he spent a lot of his time traveling to China, to Japan, and to the West as well, to spread his teachings to people all around the world. Now, this is definitely a bit more dense than the other books that I have suggested today. This is a Vedanta piece of scripture, and it talks a lot about Hinduism, Vedantic philosophies, and it is all around the central theme of living at the source. Now, what is the source? The source is a name for the thing that we can't really put our finger on, that is the source of everything and everyone. In Vivekananda's teaching, he refers to it as the source, but in Hinduism, they may call it Brahman. The Chinese can call it the Qi, or in Taoism, they call it the Tao. But many names for the same thing. Essentially, his premise is that everything and everyone is derived from one source, one thing, and that is nothing but unconditional love, abundance, and light. The closer we are to realizing that we already have everything, the entire universe inside of us, the closer we will get to the source. As opposed to that, all of the other kind of lower vibrational emotions like anger, jealousy, boredom, these are all caused by the illusions, the Maya of the physical world, and from clinging too much and thinking that you are the physical body and not the source. So definitely a very deep book with lots of wisdom, very engrossing, very enriching, and this is definitely something also to read slowly and to study for a long period of time. Finally, we have come to the last book, and for the final book of today's video, I would like to recommend the Tao Te Ching by Lao Tzu. The Tao Te Ching is one of China's oldest and most respected work, written by a very mysterious guy called Lao Tzu. Actually, until today, scholars are still not entirely sure how this came about, who Lao Tzu is, and whether or not he actually wrote this book. So this entire thing is mysterious, which to me makes it 100 times cooler, because, not that it's supposed to be cool, but still, it makes it so much cooler because this is such a beautiful work and so deep and so powerful and so wise. But the people who actually wrote this, be it one person or a group of people, didn't even bother putting their name on them because they're just so good already and they're on a different plane and they don't really care about fame and all of that stuff. But unfortunately, my Chinese is not that great, so I fortunately can't read it in the original Chinese script. And that is why I purchased this Stephen Mitchell translated version, which I think is very good. So the Tao Te Ching is a collection of poems and short proses that covers everything from politics to how to conduct yourself in life. But they're all around the central theme of living in accordance to the Tao. So the Tao can be something to be described as a state of flow or the intelligent consciousness of the world or the universe. But as the Tao Te Ching says, the Tao that can be explained is not the eternal Tao. So I will not try to explain what the Tao is. Also, who am I to even say anything about the Tao? But if there is one thing I learned from this, it is that you need balance in everything. Kind of like that yin and yang symbol, there is black and white and there's white and black, and the whole thing makes a full circle. So over defining something can become a bane to our appreciation of that thing. If we define something as tall, something else becomes short. So in the practical life, how I apply it is, if I have an experience that I would traditionally call bad, instead of saying it's bad, I would just say it is an experience. And this takes practice, but I find that the more I practice this train of thought, the less I am bothered by the ephemeral joys and throes of life, and the more I can appreciate life and all of its events in its totality instead of scrutinizing every single event and thinking that that is the core focus of my life. So yeah, there we have it. 5 books that really has impacted me and has driven me to read more on spirituality and to encourage and empower my path in this direction. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any recommendations, please shoot them my way. Other than that, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day wherever you are.